Welcome back, and I decided to do a tier list on Fortnite seasons. I'm going to list all the seasons I played, and I have played almost all the seasons, just two I haven't. And I'll be listing them how I want to do it, and if you guys think that a certain season's wrong, tell me why. And I mean, I consider a lot of things here. So, I mean, first off, there's the didn't play. So I'm going to just grab the season I didn't play. Should be Chapter 2, Season 2. And I think, let's see. I think this would be Chapter 2, Chapter 1, Season 2. Both of those I haven't played. Now, Chapter 3, which should be this one, I actually have played. But where this one would be is a little different for me because I did have the gliders, so I got the glider, so I know I played it. But the reality is, besides Tilted, it was just an season. Like, it was decent. It would not go in the bad category, but I've never put up, if anything, better than great. And a lot of you will disagree there. You're like, OG seasons are so good, but they really weren't. They didn't add that much. It was just plain, and there was noobs. It was just fun, but it didn't add anything. Now, Chapter 2, Season 4, which is right here. I liked the season a lot. I think it was really good. I love the Hot Rocks. I love the skins, the styles, even though I didn't get them. I loved it. Or I don't have any of the extra styles. Like, I had the skin styles. But, I think one thing is probably that it was so close to being perfect, but I didn't like the way how they didn't add a new shotgun that was balanced. Because I believe this season is this season where they added a little bit. I could be wrong with that, but they also didn't add that much in general. Like, they had enough stuff, and it's almost perfect. They just need to add a few more things. Now, Chapter 2, Season 5, my favorite of all time. It is a huge season. Great. I mean, you have Kevin the Cube going around the island from really early in the season. You have Rifts came in the game. Technically season 4, but like the Rift to Go came out in this season. Actual Rift you Go and or actually I don't know about Rift to Go. I think those came out later. But they also had the first vehicle. I'd say vehicle because I don't count the shopping cart. Like, that's a vehicle, but is it? Is it really? Like, no. Now, I also had the Driftskin, one of the best skins in my opinion, because it's not a collab skin. It's not a skin where they're like, oh, let's just make it look cool. They actually, like, I'm pretty sure it's almost lucky confirmed was the idea for it, because it looks so much like him. But I think this season was perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about it. I mean, if I had to change one thing, it would be probably be I wish they had the attack damage buff that they had later on that they got rid of. I say that, but besides that, yeah, nothing ever changed. Chapter 2 seasons or Chapter 1 season 6. That season was it's almost perfect too. I'd say it's better than last season. Chapter 4. It's really good. The wolf skin, the cowgirl skin, or whatever she is, like the ranch skin. I like those two a lot. They added zombies, which I liked a lot. A lot of people hate them. No, I like the zombies. I think zombies were a great addition to the game. I wouldn't change anything about that season, really. I mean, it's just they didn't really have a great counter to a lot of the zombies at first. Like, the crossbows just weren't worth it to pick up. Like, you see them on the ground, you pick them up to try it out for the first time they came out, but then you wouldn't pick them up ever again. So they just stay there, and no one picked it up. So you see them, don't pick them up, run, and then when you're like 200 meters away, you run into 1,000 zombies and you die. That, I mean, but for the most part, I didn't have too much trouble because, like, I could build ramps in that season, not like 90s or anything, but I could build ramps. Like, it was a pretty good season. Now, season 7, Um, yeah, I like this season 2. It's better than season 4, but I don't think it's as good as season 6, only because it didn't have a good live event. If you guys remember that, its live event was just snow over the map. It's pretty lame. But besides that, I didn't have too much to say about the season being bad at all. Planes, kind of annoying. Not too. But I mean, it's pretty good season overall. I wouldn't change anything about it at all. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things I would change actually, but nothing that's majorly that would change because it was just good in general. Now this season's great, but I wouldn't say it's almost perfect because the ballers were annoying at first, and the skins were decent. I only liked really the last one in the pirate, but I mean, it wasn't bad. The secret skin was also cool for that season too. Um, I don't think that I would change anything major this season besides like I mean, it's great, but it's really just not close to the other ones at all. Like all the seasons above it are better. Season 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all better than season 8. That's just the thing. I believe the Peely skin also got in this season, which was also a good one. So there's the other good skin, but it's really just it's up there, just not as good as the other one. Season 9, I like this season a lot. I think this season's better than season 7, but not as good as season 6. Neo Tilted was a huge good one. I love that. I liked it a lot, and this was the mech monster fight. I mean, yeah, I mean it was really good. I really like season 6 for the sole fact that they had zombies and like they didn't have. There's something about season 6 that I always liked. The tier 100 skin was really good. The wolf, I like it a lot. The sword backbling, more or less like the thing. It was the first time we got like the sword indicator, like a ninja. And also the Save the World wolf got added too. I didn't buy it, but it was really popular, and I regret not buying it. It's come back a few times. Just don't buy it because it's not as good as the new ones. But yeah, it's definitely a good season by far. Now season 10, I think this season was actually quite good. I think it's behind season 4. I I agree with the mechs being annoying, but they at the end they got nerfed enough that it was good. And also the event is by far the best event we ever had. Non-music related. I mean Travis Scott and Marshmallow are pretty hard to beat, but non-music related it's best event ever. Like the music at the end, the riffs, the seven coming together, Mir, like, that's great season right there. And I think for that sole reason, it's almost perfect. They got rid of the mechs early on, maybe, or if they, I don't know, like nerfed the mechs to where it ended, it would be great and it'll be a perfect. But no, it because of the mechs, it brings it down to all the way below all these. Now, next one is Chapter 2, Season 1. I think this was decent. Better than that one. Better than Season 3, but decent. I think I went on too long, and that's what threw it down a lot. They added lower graded snipers and RPGs, and they add a whole new map, slurp stuff, fish. I mean, it's a great season. Well, not great, it's a decent season. Yeah, well, maybe it's a great season. No, it's decent. It's not as good as season 8. No, not as good. But it gets hate on because of how long it went on and how little there was added in. It was like the harpoon and that's it. But the Seeker skin also was pretty lame, so that'd bring it down there. Whereas season 8 actually had a good one. So for that reason, I'll also just keep it up there. Now, another one would be Chapter 2, Season 2. Perfect season. Behind season 5, but perfect. Amazing. That is like best season in Chapter 2. And we'll see, but it's a great season. Like the spies, it went on a little too long in my opinion too, just a bit. But the event wasn't that wasn't bad at all. It's pretty good. It's perfect, almost like it's perfect in almost every way. Like I love that season. The vaults, the henchmen were a little annoying. That brings it down below season 5. But besides that, nothing I would really super change about that season. Like it was that good. No, chapter 2, season 3, great. Yeah, it's just yeah, that's how I feel with it. It's great. I feel like that season was pretty good with the water and the flood, but I feel like it was just I feel it was like a lot of fan service. If you guys know what I mean, because everyone was like making these huge predictions back in like chapter 4 and chapter 5, or I meant season 4, season 5, chapter 1, and everyone was like, the map's going to flood, volcanoes going to erupt. So to me, it was like they're going through a bucket list with the seasons, like zombies, snow, volcano, futuristic, and this just they just kept the futuristic for this one, kind of time travel too. And then there are like spies and flood, and it just felt like a lot of fan service. I'm not hugely disappointed, but it wasn't. I would prefer some. I mean, it's just great. Like it's a great season. I wouldn't change a lot about it at all. Now, chapter 2, season 4. I think it was just decent. Above the rest, but decent nonetheless. I don't think it was nothing stood out in it. Mythics, decent. I mean, it's just a decent. They didn't change anything about the map too much. Like Stark Industries was cool, but the Mythics were overpowered. Everyone hated it. It was just decent. I mean, I didn't particularly like the skins either because I'm not Iron Man fan. Do that if you will, but I mean, it was just decent season. It's definitely better than these two, but it's decent nonetheless. Now, chapter 2, season 5. That is a bad season. Besides some good-looking skins, yeah, it's a bad season. I would never want to play again. I wouldn't mind playing this again, but yeah, it's definitely a bad season. Now, I mean, all they really did was they added crossovers galore in that, I think. Yeah, that was the one where they add crossovers. They add so many. I mean, nothing changed much, so I don't like it that much at all, so. Now this season's here, and we all know why. Primal Weapons are the worst thing they added into the game. You can't. They're worse versions of all the other guns, and they don't do any more damage. You have less accuracy. It makes no sense at all. Whatever. Like, I mean, I know we're playing this season. I was like, oh, crafting, that's fun. But then I was like, oh, they add all these crafting things you saw in the trailer. They didn't get added till like the end. So, that season really, I would never want to play it again with those guns and everything. Yeah. Mythic bosses were also overpowered, and they're right in the middle of the map, so you usually get first circle with second circle and maybe third circle, and the map's so small you have to run them. Like, eventually you'll have to run into them. Well, if you play the game at least like 3 times a week. Now, chapter. Let's see, that was chapter 6, so chapter 7. I mean, it's a bad-ish season. I say it's a decent season behind the rest. That's where I'd put it. I didn't think the UFOs were that annoying, but I didn't think they added a lot that I actually liked in that season. I believe that's the season where they add cows and armored walls, and I'm like, yeah, good, but I mean, yeah, it's just it deserves to be there. Now this season's I hate it for a single reason. It's definitely better than that one though, and the reason why I hate this season is for the sole fact that they didn't do any map changes. I know how everyone felt that when they just looked at it right after the event after season 7. Like they looked at the map and they're like, "Really?" I mean, the trailer showed everything getting destroyed. Everyone was so happy. Everyone was so hyped. They're like, yes. And then you load into the season, and you're like, wait, that's not destroyed, and that is either. But in the trailer, it is. Yeah. And for that sole reason, it has to be a bad season. Otherwise, I mean, Carnage skin was everyone that wore it early on were like pros, so you had to avoid them. But like, I mean, also the one unicorn skin was awful, but I mean, it wasn't a bad season. I liked a few of the skins. It was decent. It was decent. Now, getting to the end of the list, we have chapter 3, season 1. I think this was a great season. And I'd say it's almost perfect, but it's not up to there yet because it has a few things that need to get changed. Now, that season in general, it was probably almost perfect, but right now, like how it is, like thinking back, it wasn't as good as it should have been. Like there was things that were greatly wrong with it. Like for instance, like it wasn't really great to teleport around the map that much. Like you didn't get teleport as much as you should have. Like the Spider-Man's web swingers, like you could get around the map that easily, but for the most part, you had to go out of your way to get those, and I don't think that's necessarily how they should have done. If you didn't land a daily bugle, they're mostly like on outside the maps and underneath bridges. And I remember going around the map a lot of times, and when there's a bridge in circle, I'd go to it looking for the web stringers, and it'd be gone already because there's only two under the bridges, usually two or three, and I mostly play squads. It's when even in solos, people would go by, grab them, and then run off. So, I mean, it was not a bad season at all. It's not on any of these levels, but it's definitely not good. Now, this season so far, it has the potential to be a perfect season. It has it. It's almost there. Like, the thing is, if it doesn't have a great live event, it'll be almost perfect because they added a lot of stuff that were cool. Like the new shotgun, I love it, and the SMGs and such, love it. So I like this season a lot for that, and I think they've done really well in the map change this season too. A lot of people may disagree because it feels like they just add blimps over it, but the blimps really changed a lot, and they also added some bases and etc. Like I think that as a whole, or like the map combined, this had the exact same amount of changes as the entirety of Chapter 2. Because Chapter 2 didn't change at all. But it'd be a perfect season right now. Like I'd switch this to up here, like it's in front. But it'd be a perfect season if it had a great live event. And we'll see. If it has a great live event, then it'll definitely be perfect. But otherwise, it's definitely not. It's just almost perfect. That's also a reason why a few seasons aren't even close. Like, I mean, this live event was bad. This live event was, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was expected. That was the thing. This was expected. This one also, it was like, is it not that cool? This didn't have one. This one was pretty cool. Like the end, it was pretty cool. This one didn't have one, or Star Wars one, so that's down there for that reason too. I almost put them bad, but I liked this season just because I had a lot of fun with it, with the XP changes. This season also didn't have a great live event. It was just crossover themed. Didn't really like that. That's why but it's definitely better than the rest. This live event, I don't think this season had a live event, so there's that. This season live event was pretty cool. Got rid of Tilted and added Neo Tilted. A lot of people hate Neo Tilted. I don't know why. It had a lot more loot and it was taller buildings. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why people hate that. This season didn't have a live event, so it's also there for that reason. That's why it's not in this category. This live event is best live event in the entirety of Fortnite by far. This live event, decent, very good, very good. Not decent, it's really great. This live event was really lame. Season 9 was the Robot vs. Mech, pretty cool too. This is the Butterfly event, and that was also pretty cool. This one, we'll see. This was Kevin the Cute going around the map, going to Loot Lake. That was fun. It happened while I was at school, so I came to school and it was Thanos Lake, and I was like, that's funny. And this live event was, I'd say this live event was not better than this one, or it's not better than these two and these two, but it's better than all the rest. Because I didn't like the Vice event like super much, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, the reason why I like Season 5 is it's mainly the season I started playing. Because I have a few. I have all the Season 4 skins, but I don't have any. I don't have the Mega or the Carbine leveled up at all. Not, I only have one upgrade. So that's partly why. I mean, I didn't play that much that season. I didn't play that much Season 3, but I did play them nonetheless. I think that these seasons right down here get a bad rap in general, but they are bad. I never want to play this one again, by far. And that's my Ricky first season I have played. But if we're going to go through all the season, these two down here, I put this one, Season 1, never want to play again. That's going to hurt all you guys. All of you. But I don't want to play Season 1. I just don't. Or actually, that's Season 2. I meant Season 1. Yeah. But I don't want to play Season 1 at all. Like, that's a season I would completely ignore. I'd hate to play that season. Like, I'd hate to play that more than this season. This season actually had some guns and stuff. This didn't have any. Now, this season, I think this season was. It's either the top of the bad or it's the bottom decent. I'd say it's the bottom decent. Besides the John Wick skin, which you all know that's why it was there. It was a not a pretty good season. And there's also one thing I would like to say right here. One thing I hate about Season 5, but I also love at the same time. I hate they got rid of Anarchy Acres. But I also love that they added the golf course. I'm forgetting the name right now. Lazy Links, that's what it is. I loved Anarchy Acres. I loved that it was at the edge of the map and it was a farm. And then they got rid. Then I was like, it's gone. I was like, really? Because I hate Fatal. Fatal was in the middle of the map. It's wasting space on the Chapter 1 map. It was a wasting space. There was so much space if you got rid of it. Like, if you kept Anarchy and put Lazy Links at Fatal, you could have, like, gone a lot more things in that area. Like, you could even move Lazy Links up a bit towards a mountain that had a house, if you remember that. And they could have, like, had a second POI to the left. Because there was space. I mean, I think overall that this is a pretty good tier list about the seasons. It's biased, of course. Unbiased, I mean, it'd be totally different. Like, just going off of, like, stuff they added, probably be Chapter 2, Season 2. Because that season added a lot of stuff. But anyway, that's all the things that that's all the things I like and dislike about these seasons and how I'd rate them. I feel like I should add something else to perfect and something else to bad and never I'll play again. But the thing is, I liked a lot of these Fortnite seasons. Everything above decent, I would love to play again a lot. Like, everything on decent, if I played it again, I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't. But I wouldn't like it too much. Versus if it's everything above decent, I would love to play again. Chapter 3, Season 1, Chapter 1, Season 8, both great seasons. Anything above that, like, that's, like, my tier list, so I remember to like it to send it out to more people, because that's what likes do. It doesn't really give you anything else. And only subscribe if you want to. I'm in busy a lot of life stuff, so I haven't been able to upload. I always try to upload, but I'm always awful at that. Anyway, like, please, it would help out a lot, and comment anything. If you want me to do a tier list about weapons or something, I'll do it, because I don't mind doing tier lists like that at all. Like, Fortnite tier list, I would do almost any of them. Like, listing all the guns that I think, all shotguns, all ARs, best, worst. I might do that later, actually. But yeah, anyway, this is this season. This is the tier list for the seasons. I might add another one later, and see y'all guys in the next one.